Last month, the Athletics made their way to Cleveland, and the Indians showed why they may be the team to beat. The Tribe is the best starting five in the American League. They have a balanced lineup, and with plenty of speed and pop, back into the bullpen might be the best 1-2 punch in the majors. The city of Cleveland has championship fever, and the Indians are trying to continue the spirit. The A's are truly in the dog days of August, and tonight they return home for a short 3-game homestand to play another team in the thick of the pennant race. A's, Indians, next.
Well, the A's are back in the East Bay, but only for a short time. Just a 3-game homestand. Those three against Carlos Carrasco and the Cleveland Indians. Carrasco, the hard-throwing right-hander. He will be opposed by Andrew Trigg. So it's the Athletics and the Indians. Game 1 of a 3-game series coming up on CSN California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. End of July, the A's went into Cleveland, and they found out just how good these Indians are. It was a 3-game sweep by the Tribe. And Ray, I think they're probably as good of a balanced team as there is in the American League. They've played well. Yeah. They continue to play well. They made nice additions at the trade deadline. They're pretty darn good.
And the main thing, too, they keep coming from behind, winning ball games late, as they did over the weekend against the Toronto Blue Jays. But 71-51 record. That's 20 games over 500. To your point, as you've always talked about, and I agree, when you win within your division, they are 33-17 against their own division. That is very important because they play those teams the most, the run differential. But the bottom line, they have a good manager in Terry Francona. They have a well-balanced ball club. Their pitching staff is good. And they believe, after the Cavs won the NBA championship, that they can do something as well in the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, hard to find a weakness with this Indians team. For the A's, they'll send Andrew Triggs to the mound. He'll make his 4th start. Ray, his last start in Texas, he was pretty darn good.
Well, you mentioned Carrasco, a hard-throwing right-hander. With Andrew Triggs, good ground ball outs. He had 10 in the start against the Texas Rangers. They had a no decision. Got great defense, but when you're a ground ball pitcher, you expect to have the defense work for you. He has a sinker slider coming out of the bullpen, but Bob Melvin said he's pitched so well, we're going to keep him in the rotation. He has the type of pitches that he can pitch there. Most important thing, he pitched in the 6th inning his last start. That's what he needs to do and continue to do that.
And for the Indians, Carlos Carrasco, the right-hander, will be looking for his 9th win of the year. So Carrasco and Triggs is your pitching matchup in Game 1 of this series. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back to the Coliseum right after this.
Ball on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. By Toyota. Hurry in for Toyota's annual clearance event to get an incredible deal on the 2016 Toyota you want before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places. And by America's Tire. Your low-price journey starts here.
So Stephen Vogt leads the A's out onto the field as we get set for game one of this three-game series. Says hello to home plate umpire Brian Gorman. Let's check the game time weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 62 degrees, 75% humidity, and the winds are 15 miles per hour. So another cool night here in Oakland. Let's take a quick look at the lineup tonight for the visiting Cleveland Indians. It starts with Carlos Santana. He's the first baseman. Then Jason Kipnis at second, Lindor at short, Napoli the DH. Jose Ramirez, what a year for him. He's at third, Chisenhall's in right, Naquin's in center, Almonte's in left, and Perez is your catcher.
And for Andrew Triggs, he continues to get a start in the rotation, and he may be there for a little while. We'll see what happens with the rest of the guys, but good sinker slider in a sixth inning that he pitched into last start against the Rangers. Like to do it again tonight.
First pitch of the ball game from Triggs to Carlos Santana is in for a strike. So we're underway from the Coliseum. Just this three-game series, and then the A's head back out on the road. So we will not be home for a very long time. Squaring off against a good Indians team in first place in the AL Central. Indians have a 7-game lead over the Tigers in the Central, 8-game lead over the Royals.
Santana we saw DHing except for the one game he played at first in the Sunday finale. Terry Francona kind of flip-flops Santana and Napoli, who they got from Boston, and Francona there, Terry Francona. Brand Mills is bench coach to his right. And there's big Mike Napoli, DH tonight. Big, powerful Napoli. Yep, I know when you see Triggs, at least I think about Dan Otero.
A little bit.
A lot of similarities in their delivery. Call. And Dan Otero now with the Cleveland Indians and doing a good job. The sinker slider.
Brian Gorman is your crew chief, and he is also calling balls and strikes. Outside and a full count.
That's a pitch that's good for Triggs when he can run it away from the left hand. It's good sinking action, but for Stephen Vogt, the catcher, trying to get the fine line where to start, where to give the target, not let it stay too much in the middle of the plate. This is going to be a 3-2 fastball sinker as well. A little bit more to the middle of the plate.
And that one's hit high in the air to right field. Eibner goes back. He's going to have room. And he makes the catch. So out number one here in the first inning. Defensively, the A's have Chris Davis, Jake Smolinski, and Eibner in the outfield. Healy, Pinder, Muncy, Alonso on the infield. Stephen Vogt is your catcher.
Wait a minute. That's shortstop. It's not Simeon.
I know. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
How to write that in.
How do we put that in there? But we're wishing that Simeon's.
Yeah, he's got bigger responsibilities.
Right. Got a new baby coming. And Chad Pinder, the natural shortstop, been playing second the first couple of games in the big leagues.
So here's Kipnis. Kipnis having a very fine season. 20 homers, 67 RBIs.
Well, they have a bunch of hitters, double figures and home runs. Just look up and down the lineup. A whole bunch, first 7 double figures. But I was thinking of the pitch that, there's one big one right there, but the pitch to Santana, he's 26 himself leading off, but the pitch was away. And we always talk about hitter might try to pull the ball, but if it's away, he has to reach out and pull it, and Santana got under it versus driving it with a fastball in. That's a great fastball in.
Right on the inside corner, and that's a strikeout.
Time now for the Nissan keys of the game, and of course for the Athletics, we continue to talk about meaningful games. Well, they're playing a first-place Cleveland Indians team, and there are 3 games that they're playing against the Tribe here at the Coliseum. And for Andrew Triggs, stay on the same road that he's been on. 4th start that he is making. He's gone from 3+, 4, 5 2/3 innings pitched. 75 pitches in his last start, so he is climbing the ladder as a starting pitcher and proving he can be in the rotation. Just a matter of whether he stays there.
And just 2 hits and 1 run allowed in Texas to the Rangers last Tuesday. That was that crazy game that the A's ended up losing in extra innings. So 0-2 to Francisco Lindor, the fine young shortstop for Cleveland.
That last pitch, a changeup thrown by Andrew Triggs, a pitch that he does not throw a lot, but look at the ball just stop and almost dive out of the strike zone. And good sinker away, slider away or in, and the changeup, and there's your slider.
Diving play, Muncy's got it. Throws to first. Nice defensive play by Max Muncy, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Andrew Triggs. Bottom of the first coming up. You need to put on a good show for the Hall of Famer. See if the A's can do that. Here's their lineup. Coco Crisp will DH. Smolinski in center. Vogt will catch. Davis in left. Then it's Alonso, Healy, Eibner, Muncy, Pinder.
And it's Carlos Carrasco, Barquisimeto, Venezuela, his hometown where he's born, but he is a hard thrower, mid-90s with his fastball. He'll throw a 2- and 4-seam fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. It's the complete package. He's got all the pitches. The A's did not see him in Cleveland when they were there. Oh, it seemed like just yesterday, but faced everybody but he and Salazar, who pitches tomorrow night.
First pitch to Coco outside. It was the end of July when the A's went into Cleveland, and well, we knew the Indians were good, and we saw it firsthand. They swept the A's. (2-0). Coco at 235 with 11 home runs and 47 runs batted in. Good look at the young shortstop, Lindor. You got Ramirez having a big year. It's all gone right so far for the Indians.
Well, it has, and you talk about getting on a roll. It just feels like somebody can do something every day. And Rajai Davis, Santana, of course, playing first base. He's got a bunch of home runs. Kipnis, a very, very good ball club. And like I say, Rajai Davis, their speedster, is not even in the lineup tonight. He can steal some bases as quickly as anybody.
Low strike call to Coco Crisp. 95 miles an hour from Carrasco. Usually a sign of a good team. Run differential 105. Second best in the American League. Once in a while you get a team that is good but doesn't have a very good run differential. I have that with the Texas Rangers. Generally it's the sign. The higher the run differential, the better your team is. So Coco Crisp is retired. That's Abraham Almonte in left field, Tyler Naquin in center, Lonnie Chisenhall in right, Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, Jason Kipnis, Carlos Santana third to first, Roberto Perez is the catcher. for the Indians, when you start talking about the Indians, it's their starting rotation. It's very good. As a team, they have the second best ERA in the American League, 3.83. Only the Blue Jays have a better team ERA. So they run 5 quality starters out there. And it's a nice situation to have. Not a lot of teams can do that.
Well, that if they go into October, you have pitching and defense, because you're facing the top 10 teams in baseball of the 30 teams, and they're there usually because of their pitching, their defense, scoring just enough runs to win, and really having players who have had good seasons. I wouldn't say necessarily career years, but just good steady seasons. You're kind of just thinking about Triggs, who we know is a reliever in the rotation, but it's not often that you see 2 starting pitchers both starting the game out of the stretch.
That's true.
In the case of Carrasco, more in the rotation, but that's the view that Ricky Henderson has as he watches. And of course, we'll keep an eye on anybody who gets at first base, see if he can pick up something from Carrasco.
Nasty pitch there, and Smolinski strikes out. We'll see as the night goes on why Carlos Carrasco strikes out so many guys.
Well, this is nasty. I mean, that comes right at you, and you think it's in the strike zone, and that's 3 pitches. That's not even wasting a pitch, and it's a hard slider. You see the rotation, not the true dime that's created with the seams on a slider, but great movement going down, and it was out of the strike zone.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Excuse me, Ray.
Nope, that's a primarily 50% fastballs, 2 and 4 seam. You use all quadrants of the plate like that.
So just a good 96-mile-an-hour fastball outside corner. Vogt flies out to left field, and Carrasco has a 3-up, 3-down inning. On CSN California is brought to you by AAA. Get a free A's cap with a new AAA membership. Visit a participating AAA branch by August 30th. Restrictions apply. No score, top of the second inning. The A's and the Indians. First of 3. There's Mike Napoli. What a season he's having for the Indians. 29 home runs, 87 RBIs.
Well, it's nice to have had your manager currently manage you at Boston. Terry Francona, of course, a couple of world championships in Boston. Managed through the 2011 season. Or did he go after? He may have gone after, but I know that Dustin Pedroia recommended highly to have Mike Napoli since he was available to join the Indians. Terry Francona said, yeah, take him, and he has been outstanding, especially in that park in Cleveland, which is outstanding.
Napoli strikes out on a slider from Andrew Triggs.
And there's your crossfire. Andrew Triggs facing the try for the first time. Look at crossfires and then slider away. We talk about Carrasco, and Andrew Triggs, 3 pitches against a very tough hitter. Sweeping slider away from Napoli and gets a strikeout.
So here's Jose Ramirez, switch hitting third baseman. Third base has been a little bit of a revolving door for the Indians the last 3 or 4 years. Remember, they signed Juan Uribe to play at least part-time this year, but Uribe just could not get anything going. And I believe they let him go. But out of nowhere comes Jose Ramirez, and he has done a terrific job. Hitting .310, 10 home runs, 57 RBIs. He's a switch hitter. And in a pretty good lineup, he's hitting 5th. Loops that one foul. Healy hustling over, and Healy cannot quite get to it.
Cap, I think the revolving door has stopped.
It may have
with Ramirez, right, because he is putting up some big numbers. And you have your first base and DH. In the case of Santana and Napoli, you have 26 and 29. You have 55 home runs between the two. It's pretty impressive. So you can afford. This young man has done tremendously well. Ramirez hitting .310, and of course no bigger than the weekend against the Toronto Blue Jays. Things that he did in that series, just unbelievable.
Last year he hit .219 in 97 games for the Indians. This year, .310. He's hit a couple big home runs over the weekend against the Blue Jays. He was the hero in Cleveland.
Bottom of the 8th inning yesterday, down the line with a home run porch, and that was in the bottom of the 8th inning when they were trailing. And that put them ahead, and they won. And of course, what he did on Friday night was equally as big. But, you know, when good things happen. You know, and Tom Hamilton, their longtime broadcaster, said good things happen when you win games and you only lead a game by half inning. And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
That's what happened in 2 of the 3 games they won against the Blue Jays.
Muncy retired Ramirez.
Meanwhile, Andrew Triggs, good sinker ball. Remember, 10 ground ball outs in his last start against the Rangers. So the defense can be on their toes.
Batting in the 6th position, right fielder, number 8, Lonnie Chisenhall.
I'm going to correct myself. Mike Napoli was with Texas in 2011, last year for Terry Francona. You look at the pitch selection for Andrew Triggs. The sinker slider, that's the fastball, 55%. Slider, he throws a lot, sweeping away from the right-handers.
Drops that one in there first strike. 0-1 the count to Lonnie Chisenhall. Chisenhall at .297, 8 homers, 48 RBIs. Triggs jumps ahead of Chisenhall, so he's done a good job early on getting ahead of hitters. He's retired the first 5. Chisenhall with 20 doubles, 4 triples. Go along with his 8 home runs.
Cap, when we were in Cleveland, we talked about Chisenhall was playing right field. He's at third base, and so there was the revolving third base part of it anyway. And just almost Alex Gordon type, where Gordon, an outstanding Gold Glove left fielder, started out as a third baseman in Kansas City, and Chisenhall kind of the same way.
Remember, the Indians are playing without Michael Brantley, and they will play the rest of the year without him. And Brantley is the usual right fielder, really one of the better all-around players in the American League, but they really haven't had him at all this year.
Yeah.
He had the shoulder situation, and now he's going to have shoulder surgery, so he is out for the year. Would never say they haven't missed him, because he's a very, very good player, but they have made up for his absence.
Well, some of the tribe would say that if they go to postseason, he probably will be missed the most during that period of time.
That's probably
because
true.
He's a big game hitter and player.
Two pitches inside, full count.
Nice thing about Andrew Triggs with his pitches inside of lefties, he can throw the sweeping slider back foot down and in, or he can bring the two-seam fastball back as he tried to do on the 2-2.
Pitch is hit high in the air towards Smolinski. Over and in, and he's got it. 6 up, 6 down for Andrew Triggs. Bottom of the second coming up. No score. The Indians, not a hit in the game just yet, as Chris Davis steps in. Davis, Alonso, and Healy against Carlos Carrasco. Fastball a little outside at 95 miles an hour. Chris Davis, 32 home runs and 79 RBIs. Heck of a season for Davis. Had a real good series in Chicago over the weekend. He was 5 for 11. The double, a couple of homers, 4 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. So he impressed the nice people of Chicago.
Yeah, especially the outfielders. When the ball was hit, they just turned
over their head,
to look at it and admire the distance versus trying to track it down.
Good pitch there by Carrasco. 2-1 to count.
They get a good hard slider. 2-0. They know the power of Chris Davis and the fact that he can use the whole field and hit with a lot of power.
Mark Trumbo leads the American League in home runs. He hit his 38th tonight in Baltimore. Encarnacion has 35, and then Chris Davis with 32.
Have they extended Trumbo yet?
No. What are they waiting for?
Exactly. Wow. That's a perfectly suited park for him.
Certainly seems like it.
Yeah, yesterday, how about this shot? Kind of fastball didn't get it in and crushed it to right center, and those outfielders, they knew they couldn't catch it. They just wanted to see how far it was going to go. And it went the distance without any problem at all. So he's used line to line, really all kinds of pitches. First pitch, 3-2, breaking balls. See you later. That's a good breaking ball. That is a good slider.
Well, when you see hitters take it, it has to be a late break.
Well, and right there just kind of buckled, and there's nothing that Chris Davis could do, and all the reason for the importance of throwing that slider hard. If you're throwing it slowly, that right there would allow Chris Davis to swing, but it was thrown hard. It kind of froze him, and that was it.
Yeah. Nasty. Oh, man. Opponent's average versus breaking balls. 186 last year, 171 this year. So He can spin them both up there, curveball and slider. So here's Yonder Alonso.
Well, the conventional way for starting pitchers to wind up. When you see pitchers, I think of Yu Darvish, one of the first to start it. Of course, guys coming out of the bullpen just stay because they pitch mostly out of the stretch anyway. But when you're out of the stretch, you're eliminating a lot of moving parts. And if a pitcher is a starting pitcher and pitching out of the stretch from the get-go, then he's trying to say, if it wind up, maybe there's too many things happening and I don't throw consistent strikes. Carrasco, again, rare to have two starting pitchers pitching out of the stretch to start, but it's working for Carrasco and has throughout the season. 14-game winner last year.
Broken bat, shallow center. Naquin hustling in. He'll get that. He's got it.
Chevron and the Oakland A's have once again partnered to bring the Science of the Game program to local 1st through 8th graders. Area students have the opportunity to earn a pair of tickets to a regular season A's game by completing fun and challenging science equations about the game of baseball. Get more info at athletics.com/science. Science and mathematics in baseball. Wow. Bet it didn't have that for me, so I could just go out and catch.
Yeah, you picked the right one. So you weren't a big prospect in math, is what you're saying?
No.
But you were a big prospect in baseball.
Liked the baseball. Liked all sports, actually. But baseball was the best.
So you would not have been a first-round draft pick in the math draft of 1965?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. I would have tried very hard, but I just don't think it would have happened. I really tried my best at the math, but getting the trig. And
I think math is one of the things you either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it's going to be a struggle. You and I are in the same boat.
Seems like the farther you went in school, the more math and the harder it got.
Oh, no question.
Yeah. So thank you, baseball.
0-2 to Ryan Healy. And a breaking ball, too much of the plate. Healy rips it right back up the middle.
Great adjustment by Ryan Healy on the hanging breaking ball. And of course, when you're looking for a sharp breaking, you show the 171 batting average against this breaking ball, but not this one. That's one 0-2 that he threw to Smolinski perfectly out of the strike zone and got the strikeout, but not to Ryan Healy, and took it back up the middle. Solidly hit. An 0-2 breaking ball.
So that is the first hit of the game. Here's Brett Eibner. So the 9-game hit streak now for Ryan Healy. First pitch to Eibner is a strike.
Talking to Ty Van Berkeley, the former A's hitting coach, now with Terry Francona in the same capacity for the Tribe, and he asked about Brett Eibner. He said, what happened in Kansas City? And he was very impressed. Of course, they play them a lot, Central Division. There's Ty Van Berkeley, his family coming down from the hills to watch the team play. But Eibner from Kansas City, I actually asked him, and he said they have a lot of speed. There's guys in the outfield, and just said maybe he didn't have the speed that they wanted in Kansas City, but he has been a very good, powerful hitter for the Athletics, and maybe a good opportunity for him.
Foul back, just downstairs to our right. 1-2 the count to Eibner. It's a good night for foul balls.
Yes, it is.
Trust me, it's a really good night for foul balls. Eibner, 5 home runs combined with the Royals and the A's. Just a touch high.
Interesting call. Perez, the catcher, put his catcher's mitt on the ground, which would indicate he wanted the slider down low. Turned out to be a fastball. That's a coordinated looking catch. Look at that. You know, everything kind of nice and gray with a little touch of red.
Yeah.
With the hockey style mask. The gray uniforms, I mean, it really goes perfectly with it.
Carrasco off the mound, throws to first in time, side retired. Hitting a runner left for the A's. So we are scoreless after 2 from the Coliseum. Billy Butler placed on the 7-day concussion DL, and Arizmendi Alcantara was called up from AAA, and there he is. So he is here. So always a day with some type of transaction. This one, of course, got a little more attention than some of the other ones.
Well, the A's have 15 on the DL, or the
something like that.
Latendorf was the 15th to go on the DL. Steve Vucinich doesn't have enough room in the clubhouse. I mean, you look at 25-man roster, 15 DL, there's your 40, and that's without September call-ups. See what happens with that.
Naquin, Almonte, and Perez here in the top of the 3rd. And that's a base hit to left field. So the story came out last night about the incident between Danny Valencia and Billy Butler in the locker room in Chicago. There's our Geico quote of the game. Bob Melvin talking about that situation. Quote, "There isn't ever been a clubhouse I've been in where everybody got along swimmingly. You're going to have some differences when you have 25 guys. In our case, 50 guys is what it seems like. So not everybody's going to get along great, but I expect us to be fine moving forward." You got to handle it if you're the manager. And I would agree that these things do happen. Sometimes the information gets out, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did. Right?
Well,
you played on teams that were well known for scuffling with each other occasionally. It does happen.
It does happen, and you know, it might happen. Of course, bus rides, a lot of guys will go out before the buses even go, but at one time everybody rode a bus and went to the park and get the park and clubhouse. Things happen, but usually they stayed in the clubhouse. And I will say, back in those years, that in the 70s we had Jim Street and Ron Bergman, and that was it. That was the traveling press, and they kind of laughed at everything that we did, and it really stayed within the ball club. But now when you have so many media personnel traveling and with ball clubs in both cities, wherever you're playing, it's hard not to have something find its way out of the clubhouse.
Almonte takes a strike, pulls the bat back. 1-1 the count to Abraham Almonte. He had a good series against the A's in Cleveland.
Well, it seemed like everything he swung at and hit hard, or he hit it hard, and it ended up going some pretty good distances.
Naquin adds good speed. The pitch is inside. Roberto Perez, the catcher, waits in the on-deck circle. Nasty pitch there, 2-2.
And the 84, that would indicate a changeup. Just watch the velocity, and his fastball low 90s, but there's a changeup, and when a bottom drops out like that, and it's a good delivery, which Triggs has, and you know, a lot of times when a relief pitcher comes in, he's a two-pitch pitcher because he does not have a lot of time to get loose and throw all of his pitches. As a starter, it's much different, and Triggs has proven that.
That fastball got in a little bit on El Monte. And Chris Davis makes the catch.
When you see a hitter have to pull a hands in like that just to protect, cannot really drive the ball that well.
Batting in the ninth position.
Stephen Vogt has caught Andrew Triggs. This is his 4th start. Stephen Vogt has been behind the plate all 4. And that helps because you get familiar, just like the 3-2 slider he called on Chisenhall to end the last inning. When a pitcher can look in and have a veteran catcher put down a sign, there's no question about whether it's the right pitch to throw or not. Just let it go and make a quality pitch.
First pitch to Perez. High fastball, swing and a miss. Perez really struggling offensively. 7 hits and 70 at bats. He's got 4 RBIs. Jimenez is the other catcher. Gian Gomes still on the disabled list for the Indians, so that's a loss for them, although I think they expect to get him back at some point in September, which would be a significant addition for him, for the Indians.
Gian Gomes' name came up when Ramirez hit the home run yesterday, as he was the last to hit a home run after the 8th inning that turned a deficit into a win, and that's what Perez or Ramirez did yesterday, from down 2-1 to 3-2. But Yan Gomes is a good catch and throw catcher. He had not been hitting that well this year, but you want a catcher to do the job behind the plate.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, to throw to second base. Got him. What a play by Stephen Vogt. Muncy hangs in there, and they get Naquin at second base.
Talk about an emergency throw. A catch and throw by Stephen Vogt on a hit and run on big slider away. And Stephen Vogt, look how far he has to go outside to catch the ball. It was a hit and run, and Naquin actually got it to chin, but Stephen Vogt caught it backhanded and one just basically catch and throw. Boy, look at Muncy straddling the bag, and Naquin tried to go. He had no place to go except take the glove and the ball in his face. Bang. But maybe his knee in his face, because he came up holding his jaw. But what a throw by Stephen Vogt.
So 2-2 now, the count.
Watch how far he has to reach outside and then just step and throw. And he got rid of it quickly, which he's been doing a lot lately. And really the fact that Naquin kind of turned his head because it was a hit and run slowed him down just a bit. But that's what you're expecting, the hitter to make contact, but Perez could not.
And he gets him with a slider. 3rd strikeout for Andrew Triggs. So he's been sharp for the first 3 innings. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. No score. 10 California is brought to you by First 5 California. Talk, read, sing. It changes everything. No score as we head to the bottom of the third from the Coliseum. Max Muncy leading it off against Carlos Carrasco. A's have one hit against Carrasco through the first 2 innings. He's got a couple of strikeouts. And a quick 0-2. Chad Pinder to follow, and then Coco Crisp. First home game for Chad Pinder. Pitch runs off the plate. Muncy at 203, couple of home runs.
As we mentioned, Max Muncy has not played a lot of second, but straddling the bag is a catcher's dream. When you throw and you know the infielder straddling the bag because he can catch and apply the tag, and really with the head first slide as Naquin was doing, could put his body in front, his knee down, and it's a very, very hard part of the body to slide into, as Naquin found out going back to the dugout.
Two pitch, loop down the left field line. Almonte on the run, makes the catch. So 1 out. Time for the forward right choice. Yesterday, 3rd at bat in the game for Chad Pinder, and there it is. His first big league hit. That was of Jose Quintana. Congratulations to Chad Pinder. The family was happy. And once Brian Davis gets the baseball, then you know it's official.
It's authenticated, and you can take that number and look on the MLB site, and you can see that's the first major league hit by Chad Pinder. Where, when, everything.
Grounds this one to Lindor. And Pinder is retired. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. And that'll bring up Coco Crisp.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 4.
See the scoreboard in the background. Kind of a light night in Major League Baseball. Mondays and Thursdays are generally the off days around Major League Baseball. In fact, almost always.
But when you have Thursdays off on the road, you play on Monday.
Yes, well, that's true.
That's what the
It all evens out.
That's what the A's have been doing lately.
That's right. Every team, when the season ends, well, for the most part, we'll have the same amount of off days.
That's right. Well, they're scheduled that way. It's just a matter of rainouts and makeups, and like for Cleveland hosting the Red Sox.
That's right. They lost a
week ago today.
Off day at home. Yeah. That was part of a homestand by the Indians. That was a good one for them. They won 8-3, and I think that would have been game 1 of was a 10-game homestand, but they had the makeup. So 8-3 in the 11-game homestand. So they're now on the road this week. Third baseman Ramirez was playing in. He throws Coco Crisp out, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Carrasco. No score after 3.
At bat apt. If you're chuckling, take a look at what we're looking at. Stay up to the moment, any moment with game day, live game, video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. Is that Joe Vu?
It's Joe Boo, I think, isn't it?
Major League.
Joe Boo, I do it myself.
Well done.
Joe Boo had good power. He struck out a lot. Couldn't hit that breaking ball.
Not too long ago, because Yan Gomes was struggling swinging the bat, they recreated that scene in the Cleveland clubhouse with Mike Napoli reading all the stuff.
Not a bad idea. Yeah, there was smoke coming out.
Yeah, and then about 2 days later, it went on the disabled list. So whatever they did didn't help his hitting, but put him on the DL. Napoli had that huge beard in Boston when they won the World Series, 13. They were pulling on his beard. He said, I don't care what they pull on. If we win, they could pull on it all they want.
Indians right now with the second best record in the American League, just really percentage points behind the Texas Rangers at 71 and 51. Be a good series this weekend. The Indians will leave here on Wednesday and they will go to Arlington. They have a 4-game series in Texas this weekend. Best record in the majors since June 1st. Muncy charges, scoops it up. Well, it really was the month of June that just got them rolling. They were 22 and 6 in the month of June. Of course, they had that long winning streak.
14-game winning streak following the Cavs winning the NBA championship. It kind of coincided with the parade of 1 million people watching the Cavs downtown, and they've really brought a lot of life to Cleveland. Still want to see the Wahoo, though. Sit at the block C on the cap. And
I'm with you.
And a couple of gentlemen with caps in the front row. Tribe fans, Cleveland fans with the Wahoo.
We showed you in the open of our show the graphic that gave you their overall record against the Central, which is very, very good. Yeah. That's the breakdown. And the big one, of course, on top, 11-1 against the Detroit Tigers, 8-5 against the Royals. They have 7 games left with the Tigers, and the Tigers are 7 back. You have 7 left with the White Sox and 6 left with the Royals. So if you're the Royals or the Tigers, you will get your shots at the Indians, but you almost have to win all the games, which is very difficult to do.
You know, and that's a good point, Cap. If it's April, May, you're thinking, okay, good. But you start getting late August and September, and you start looking at the numbers and what you have to do. And definitely Cleveland's in the driver's seat in the Central Division. And I think the teams chasing them know that. If you start thinking about the wild card.
So that is out number 2. Another strikeout for Triggs. He's got 4 strikeouts. So 2 outs. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Most 3-hit games in the major leagues. Francisco Lindor has 20 of them. Jose Altuve has 20.
So you have a shortstop, a second baseman, and a shortstop. What does that tell you about the up-the-middle offense of these ball clubs?
Lindor overall 4th in the American League in hits. 49, but Jose Altuve, I mean, nobody's close. He's got 178 hits, 15 more than the second guy, who is Mookie Betts. Altuve's batting average is .365. That's 45 points higher than anybody else. So if you're tied with anything with Jose Altuve, that's a good thing. Lindor grounds out. Another good inning for Triggs. He's pitching well. Still no score. 4th inning. Carlos Carrasco back to work. A couple of strikeouts.
Flat bill caps.
Yep.
Good A's. Good looking A's caps with the flat bill.
It's amazing how many different hats there are now. First pitch rolled foul. I mean, you can get just about any look you want, any colors you want.
That's good, though. I mean, a nice selection, and as long as you represent your team, it's right there. How about that? That's a nice looking Cleveland cap. A little keep the sun, but there's no sun tonight. Downtown Cleveland on a sunny afternoon. That's a good cap, good hat.
That tight little slider at 87 miles an hour, 0-2.
Now, Smolinski has seen a steady diet, and probably some of the best sliders thrown to Smolinski from Carrasco, and just away, and almost just stand on top of the plate and force him to throw it out there. Try to go to the opposite field with it.
Spins off the plate.
I think when a hitter gets a steady diet of sliders, that thought in the back of the mind is going to throw a fastball in, and that's where a catcher can watch the feet of a hitter. He starts to move his feet in a little bit closer, thinking about the outside pitch. That's when you jam him inside with a fastball. But Smolinski seems to be at this time staying in the same spot.
There it is again. So Carrasco just stays with that breaking ball, and it is a good one.
But when he makes a mistake, as he did with Healy, that's a good pitch to hit, but not this one. That is a very, very good pitcher's pitch. And really, Perez, the catcher, is just staying out there with a hard slider. And as long as the hitters keep flailing at it. 197 ERA on the road. That is pretty special.
Here's Vogt. Pitch to Vogt, a strike on the outside corner. Carrasco is just 29 years old, so he's right in the middle of the prime of his career. He was up and down for 3 years. Just the stuff was there, just could not harness it. He had some shots in the big leagues. But then Ray, the back half of the 2014 season, the second half of the season, he made 14 starts and he was really good. Yeah. And that was it. It clicked in. And then last year he was very good, struck out 216 hitters in 183 innings, and as you had mentioned earlier, won 14 games. And another swing and a miss on that slider.
Well, a catcher, pitcher, see a pitch that's working well. You stay with it, whether it's a lefty or righty, and again the slider to the left-hander, Stephen Vogt. So it throws it outside to the right-hander. Towards the outside, bring it sharply down and in to the lefty. And Stephen Vogt, 3 pitches and slider to get him. 4 pitches, sliders getting Smolinski.
And here's Chris Davis. Called strike, snapped in there. Davis struck out looking in the second inning. Fastball there, 95, and had a little late life to it, I believe.
And up in his zone and in a great location for a power hitter.
Good ratio and a low pitch count. Just a touch high, not a lot. 1-2 the count. Carrasco has not been pitching great as of late. 4 August starts, his ERA is 6.5. That's hard to believe. The Indians trying to get him straightened out for a September stretch drive.
And he shook off 2 fastballs outside from Perez, then finally one of the slider. Which makes you believe that if he had gone slider after the first fastball, but when it went back again to the fastball, maybe Perez thinking that he did not want to take a chance of him hanging the breaking ball. Now he gets the fastball away.
Right there on the outside corner. Strike 3 call. Carrasco strikes out the side in the bottom of the 4th. 5th inning coming up. Indians nothing, A's nothing. Brought to you by Caltrain Stormwater. Keep your highways clean. Protect our water. ProtectEveryDrop.com. 1974 World Series. I'm good friends with the guy who played on that team. His name is Ray Fosse. Hit a home run in that World Series. I don't remember it, but he does.
Don Sutton still doesn't like me because he hung a curveball and I hit it. But that's okay. Joe Ritty was great, 3-time world champion. Joe was one of the best hitters I ever saw in old-timers games.
I mean, he had a simple swing.
He was a great hitter when he played, but in those old-timers games, it's like, Joe, you could play till you're 100. Changed, the swing never changed. He was one of the swinging A's.
Although, if I remember correctly, his swing was a little unorthodox. His stance was.
Right.
Kind of held the bat low.
The late Charlie Lau was, I mean, Joe was taught by Charlie Lau, and you know, Charlie taught some great hitters. But he had kind of a closed stance, bat on the shoulder, and he could unleash it quickly. Did it in that same Game 5 of the '74 World Series against Mike Marshall. Probably one of those patented screwballs and hit it down the left field line.
3-1 the count to Napoli, followed by Ramirez and Chisenhall. And that one is belted to left field. Davis there on the warning track, and he makes the catch. So 1 out. We have it. There's our guy. Now, watching that replay, and I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
The pitch looked like it was a little up.
It's a hanging curveball.
Yeah.
Hanging curveball. Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. It's not your fault.
Well, it's not what you're always supposed to do.
It's not your fault.
But the play that in that game was the Billy Buckner play to right center. That the great relay to third base, and I'm sure Billy Buckner, he doesn't want to have his name mentioned too much.
Yeah. 1-1 to Jose Ramirez. 6 in a row retired by Andrew Triggs. He's allowed 1 hit. Carlos Carrasco has allowed 1 hit.
Well, the scary one was Napoli, but it hit the ball a little bit towards the end of the bat and kept it in the park, and that's what the slider and the sinker will do to a hitter. Kendall Graveman Friday night in Chicago faced one over the minimum. Had a couple of ground or double plays, a line drive double plays.
That one was up, and Ramirez had a very good swing at it. Sometimes a hitter gets his pitch, he just misses it.
He did not miss him over the weekend.
No.
That's what makes probably a little frustrating to get a pitch like that and then miss it, knowing what happened in Cleveland just a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday.
Toward left field, Davis will hustle back again, and he'll get there.
Chris Davis playing shallow, going back nicely, but playing shallow in case Ramirez dumped one in front of him or tried to, but Chris played it very well.
Now batting, number 8, Lonnie Chisenhall.
So with 2 outs, here's Chisenhall. .62 pitches so far for Triggs. Sinker's low. Chisenhall hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. And that one's going to drop in left center field for a 2-out hit. All right, true story brought to you by McDonald's. Last Friday night, we were talking about the great weekend for the Indians. This is what Naquin did. Tie game, bottom of the 9th. I'm just going to let you watch. First of all, where was the center fielder? That's what I'd like to know. Look at the play. Look at Cleveland. Look. That is awesome. Inside the park home run to win the game.
And hadn't Ramirez tied it in
Ramirez tied it. I think maybe the hitter before.
Yeah, the same inning. Yeah.
So he tied it with a home run, and then the place is already going crazy because of that. And then this young man hits an inside the park home run.
Tom Hamilton, again, the great voice of the Cleveland Indians. He said that whenever it was hit, everybody thought it was going to be a home run, and he thought even Upton in center field thought it was going to be a home run. He just watched it instead of backing up.
Well, I mean, that has to be it, because he was nowhere to be found, and if he goes over there, even casually, it's going to be a triple.
Exactly, and by not going over, and there is Tom Hamilton, your great Green Bay Packer friend.
How good do you think his call was on the Naquin inside the park home run? Because Tommy lets it go, man.
Well, he called it as if it was a home run.
Yeah.
And then it was a home run, but a different type of home run. I mean, Tommy is great. I mean, there's literally, I think there are times, just like we talked about Hawk, you could hear him from Indiana. I think we hear Tom whenever he's in Cleveland.
If we're in the Midwest, we hear him. Anywhere in the Midwest. But I want to read the list of walk-off inside the park home runs. Roberto Clemente.
Wow.
Reggie Jackson. Ken Griffey Jr. That's some of the big names on the list.
It's good company.
There's been a few other guys. 1-2 pitch is outside. Naquin had a base hit back in the 3rd inning. He's a pretty good-looking young player.
Think of the great Roberto Clemente, got his 3,000th hit, and then unfortunately was killed in a plane crash, but played at Three River Stadium. I wonder if the ball was bouncing around on the artificial surface. Because I saw a lot in Kansas City when they had the artificial surface at Kauffman Stadium. You had the ball down the line. If you didn't cut it off and it rolled around on the warning track, which was turf also, it just kept rolling and rolling.
And he got him swinging. A fastball away from Naquin, and that is 5 strikeouts for Triggs. What a job he's doing. No score, bottom of the 5th coming up. Alonso, Healy, and Eibner. Against Carlos Carrasco, who has thrown just 47 pitches through the first 4 innings. So he's been sharp. Struck out the side in the 4th inning. Mariners leading the Yankees 3-2 in the 4th inning up in Seattle. Pineda and Martin. Mariners just a game back of the 2nd wild card spot. 6 back of the Rangers in the division. Rangers are off today. They will be at Cincinnati Tuesday and Wednesday. So they'll go there and then go right back home for a 10-game homestand. Talking about first place Rangers. Knocked down by Carrasco. He'll scramble to pick it up, does so with his bare hand, and throws out Alonso. Broken bat, so some of the bat splinters.
Right down the middle. Good sinker, maybe off the end of the bat, as it was, and see all the splinters and Exmo just flying off the bat. Close enough to Carrasco that he could throw out Alonso as he was hustling to first.
Well, those are the kind of broken bats that are scary, because look at how sharp it is. So 1 away for Healy. Healy has the only A's hit, a 2-out single in the 2nd inning. The Mariners still have 7 games left with the Rangers, including 3 next week in Arlington. So at least they got the games to play. You have a chance.
And it is the correct division, but I liked your point when talking to Chicago that the A's final 4 games of the season are in Seattle, where they could maybe have some say in what the Mariners do.
Yeah. Base hit. Healy got a fastball. Ryan Healy has had no problem with Carlos Carrasco. A couple of hard hit base hits.
Then they got him with a breaking ball, hit it hard up the middle on a mistake 0-2. It's just trying with a fastball, and he proved he could hit that as well. Pulled the hands in, got the solid base hit to left field.
He's got a quick bat.
Yes, he does, and the fact that he is able to play well at third, and we'll see in the future if that's going to be his position. I think Matt Chapman, who he's drafted in 2014, has been very impressive at third base, and probably take a little bit extra time with him.
Just got moved up to AAA.
Yeah. So it's happening, and something that's going to happen even more with the ball club.
Chisenhall has it in right field. 2 outs.
2017 season ticket memberships are on sale right now. Whether you want to renew your membership or join the party, visit athletics.com/2017. You'll find all the benefits that A's membership has to offer, including early bird incentives, exclusive experiences, half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. You can even lock in your 2017 seating location. Visit athletics.com/2017 and join the party today. Oh, there he is. He's borrowing our jacket, Captain. He is for turn back the clock.
I can't believe the Comcast gave him that jacket.
Took the logo off. Actually took it from late Howard Cosell.
First pitch to Muncy is a strike. Muncy, a fly ball to left field. Actually hit it pretty hard back in the 3rd inning. Take by Muncy.
Max does wait a long time at the plate and gives him an opportunity to see the ball longer, and as a result, there are times he will hit balls hard to left field. As long as you can be quick on pitches in and turn on them. Waiting a long time is okay, but these guys are strong, very strong, and sometimes don't know their own strength, and fastballs inside.
2-1 the count to Muncy. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Remember when the Indians had Cliff Lee? He was a very good pitcher for the Indians. They traded him to the Philadelphia Phillies. And a handful of youngsters back. One of them was Carlos Carrasco. That was a long time ago. That was 2009. But they got a good young pitcher back. Just took them a little while.
I think in today's game, you never want to worry about if a pitcher takes longer than what you expect. And really, think of Zach Neal with the A's, who pitched yesterday. Over 700 innings in minor league baseball. And at one time, as we've talked before about how you'd want a pitcher to throw 300 to 500 innings in minor leagues to gain the experience. Hitters, maybe 1,000 at bats.
Yep.
Not anymore. But Zach Neal's a perfect example, and he used it as gaining experience at the minor league level, and good sinker at the big leagues has helped him.
3-2 pitches rolled foul with Healy taken off.
Sean Manaea pitches tomorrow, sitting next to Zach Neal, who was in the bullpen, but unfortunately when Jesse Hahn could not make the start yesterday, Zach was back in the rotation yesterday, and looks like he'll stay there until Jesse can come back. But the fact that he can pitch out of the bullpen, it's Salazar tomorrow. He can throw hard as well.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Muncy doesn't like it. 6th strikeout for Carrasco, and we're still scoreless as we go to the 6th.
Up in A's colors with a sunny gray fleece blanket. It's presented by Xfinity. Monday, September the 5th, you can be one of 15,000 fans to take home this green and gold fleece blanket before the A's take on Labor Day, a matinee against the Los Angeles Angels. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. Sunny gray fleece blanket.
Pitchers duel tonight at the Coliseum between Andrew Triggs and Carlos Carrasco. Similar lines, just 2 hits allowed by each pitcher. Triggs has 5 strikeouts. Carrasco has 6. Remember, in his last start, Andrew Triggs, that's the start down in Texas, he threw a career high 5 2/3 innings, and he did that on 75 pitches. So he's in that area again. What a line to left. Davis back, and Chris Davis has it. 1 out here in the 6th inning.
And Triggs has not walked a batter, excuse me, in his 4 starts. This is his 4th start. So keeping it around the plate, but quality pitches, even some getting the hitters to chase out of the strike zone.
55, Roberto Perez.
A's fan but he loves that Cavs shirt. It's a tough call for him. Well, people with the Indians organization that we know, Ray, and you've known for many, many years, they swear that the attitude around the city of Cleveland has become significantly better since the Cavs won.
Absolutely.
And they swear by it, and they will. If you don't believe them, they don't care, because they said there's no question it's a different type of people. People are in a better mood.
If you have not won any kind of a championship since 1964, you know you're going to be happy.
And listen, Bay Area has seen a lot of success over the years in all different sports, so it may be easy just to chuckle and kind of dismiss it and think it's kind of silly. Not in Cleveland.
No. You see the cap of the Wahoo. That's something that we showed the huge Wahoo of the old stadium, the mistake by the lake. But things are happening. That's the block C now that you're seeing. Uniforms your brother and I wore.
Those look like the Ricky Vaughn uniform.
That's right. Unfortunately, that's the way we played. Kind of like Major League, let them lose so we can sell the club.
2-2 to Roberto Perez. Right there, strike 3 call. Perfect sinker on the outside corner. 6 strikeouts for Triggs. Dropped it right at the knees.
Watch him bring it right back from outside to the outside part of the plate. A little jump at the end by Triggs, and Perez tried, stopped. It's called strike 3 by Brian Gorman. Gorman's got to be having a great time tonight, the home plate umpire. 2 pitchers around the plate. Very easy to call the strikes that are thrown consistently. And fun for the catchers as well.
Here's the leadoff man, Carlos Santana.
So last start 5 2/3 innings, and for Andrew Triggs trying to get out of this inning, which would be his top as a starting pitcher. Shift to the right.
So the Indians doing kind of what the Orioles doing, Ray, with a leadoff spot where you're kind of looking for somebody, can't really find anybody, so you say, hey, you got to put a power hitter there. That's fine. What difference does it make? And Santana has always been a guy who walks a lot as well, so that kind of adds to it.
And one of the best we showed earlier and down in the tunnel for the Athletics, Ricky Henderson, is a leadoff hitter. You walked him, you knew he was going to be in scoring position with a stolen base. You made a mistake, threw a fastball, he hit a home run. Most leadoff home runs of anybody, most runs scored, most stolen bases. And to your point, Adam Jones with the Orioles, a lot of home runs. You're getting Santana, and so much for the typical leadoff hitter who steals a lot of bases.
Maybe Rajay Davis will hit the leadoff spot some when he's in the Indians lineup, but if you just think about it, I mean, it's an interesting baseball thought now, but Santana has a good on base percentage, around 340. He also has 48 extra base hits. Right there, 3-2.
See what Santana does on the 3-2, because if you know the pitcher, he doesn't walk a lot of hitters, he's going to be around the plate. That's why it's surprising. It has to be a good pitch, 3-1, even better 3-2 for Triggs against Santana. No, slider, no chance.
Well, there's a walk, first one of the night for Triggs.
And that could have been just maybe, as he's at 83 pitches, 75 in his last start. Did not finish on the slider. And it could be the fatigue setting in a little bit. The staff on the left side, well, actually looking at him straight on. That's
the brain trust.
Yeah. Into the dugout closest to home plate.
Kipnis, line drive down the left field line, fair. Santana headed for third, and they're going to hold him up. Mike Sarbaugh, the third base coach, he waited as long as he possibly could, and then he realized that he had to hold up Santana.
Kipnis, a late swing, maybe intentional on the sinker away, but again a pitch that was up. Chris Davis, a great job getting to the ball quickly, the ball hitting and coming back enough, did not stick underneath the pad, and with the ball down the line, he knew he was going to think about scoring with 2 outs. Tough to get a 2-out hit, or two 2-out hits, and held up at third base. So with Lindor, another very good hitter, so a 2-out walk and a first pitch double play, or double off the bat of Kipnis.
Lindor got a slider that was coming in on him. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Lindor hitting just 163.
Kurt Young on the phone to the bullpen. Not surprising. And again, when you're right now 10 pitches more than you've ever thrown as a starter or any time.
Just a bit outside. 1-1. So Liam Hendriks starts to throw and getting loose fairly quickly. Reach for, poke foul. So that's that good sinker moving away from Lindor.
Just a couple of ground ball outs, 1 to second. Nice play by Muncy. Diving, this ball sinking away from him as he fouled off. Almost like a 2-strike protecting swing, but that was the second strike.
Way outside to Lindor.
Well, that pitch is where you have to be a good quick catcher, because the ball really took off. The sinker away from Stephen Vogt, reached out and stopped it, caught it.
Loop toward right field. Eibner's there, and he's got it side retired. So Triggs gets out of the jam. A couple of runners stranded by the Indians.
At the Coliseum, Carlos Carrasco did a great job of shutting out the A's. A complete game, 2-hit shutout. Gave up a hit to Billy Burns, stolen base hit by Josh Reddick to bring him in. That was it. All the scoring, everything for the Athletics. Carrasco was great. 7 strikeouts, 103 pitches in that game. That was just outstanding. All the scoring in the first inning. Ace did not get a hit for the last 8 innings of the game. And tonight, been pretty good as well.
No walks, 6 strikeouts. Facing Chad Pinder. There's a strike, 0-2. Pinder, Crisp, and Smolinski here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No score.
Pretty good pitcher in Seattle by the name of Felix Hernandez, who's from Valencia, Venezuela. Carrasco from Barquisimeto, Venezuela, as I mentioned, and Valencia right in the middle of the country. Barquisimeto on the western part of the country. Probably the best known shortstop Luis Aparicio from Barquisimeto. It's a tough flight from Valencia on a twin-engine prop.
Yeah, a little rocky.
Yeah, especially when the pilot opens the window and looks out and
that's not good.
Wipes the window off with his hand. He says a little foggy.
That's not good. Backhanded by Ramirez, his long throw across, and they get pinned.
That's why we love those bus rides across this country instead of the plane rides.
Well, the Indians did what they really done it to all their young starters, except for Bauer. They signed Carrasco to a long-term deal.
That's right. Liam Hendricks is continuing to warm up, and this is an outstanding start for Andrew Triggs. 6 innings, shutout baseball, and Stephen Vogt talking to him maybe about some of the pitches he made, but you could tell in that last inning or at the top of this inning, start elevating some pitches.
Line drive, headed for the right field corner, fair. Chisenhall picks it up. Coco round second. He's going to try for third. The throw is in time, and they got him.
He's saying no. He said he got his hand in, and Bob Melvin knows it's very important. They're going to check. And the key here, did he get his hand in between the legs of the third baseman? The throw's there. He got it down. Well, did they get him on the side? This is the better look. It's to the outfield side.
He's safe.
He is safe. He did not get his hand, or he got his hand in front before the tag was applied. The previous one, because right there, his hand's on before he got him on the side. Take a look at it, and Bob Melvin's going to do it. This is huge. That's a great shot there, guys, because that right there, his hand's on the bag before the tag, and that's what they're showing it on. Yeah, they're going to review it, and that's a good one. Coco admittedly, because he probably felt his hand on the bag before he got tagged on the side, and that's the reason he immediately came up and said no, no. We'll see if it's yes, yes. A strong throw on the relay coming from Chisenhall. And then the throw, if it had been on the bag, is out easily. But Ramirez, see where the umpire, he's out of position when it comes to looking at this play. See, he cannot see that Coco's hand's on the bag, and also where the tag or when it was applied. And I think that's where Alan Porter, make it Clint Fagan, who is at third base, was making the call.
This is probably your best.
That's
look.
The best one. Hand on the bag and then to tag late. And if they're looking at that in New York at 11:37. Andrew Triggs is really hoping, as all the people are, all the aides are, that it's called safe, and we're going to find out. No, I don't believe it.
They call him out?
Called him out. Called him out. Cannot believe that. That's not a good call.
Oh, my goodness. Watch the hand.
Hands
Bag.
on the bag, tag. Bad call. Bad call both places. And I bet they come out and say it wasn't definitive enough to overturn it, but that definitely was definitive enough.
That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Replays there to get it right.
Absolutely.
So 2 outs. Here's Smolinski. I understand it has to be definitive, but
it was.
I don't know what wasn't definitive about
it. Was definitive. Because if they could not see the hand on the bag and then the tag probably a couple of inches away from being applied, and evidently they didn't, because they upheld the call.
So 2-0 the count to Smolinski, who has struck out twice. Yeah, that's a huge call.
That's why Triggs is hopeful that runner at third infield would have played in.
So 3-0 to Smolinski. Carrasco really hasn't come close to walking anybody. He's going to have to throw another strike here with Vogt waiting in the on-deck circle.
At 3-2 to Muncy last inning, struck him out with a backdoor slider. That's it. A 3-ball count. 4 now.
3-1 pitch is lined to center for a hit. He had to come in, and he did, and Smolinski has his first hit.
Well, and of course, the fans thinking about what if Coco had been called safe. Melvin thinking the same thing as working the count, getting the count to 3-0, 3-1, then a fastball center cut. And that's why Smolinski took it hard up the middle. And he had to be ecstatic to get that pitch versus the sliders consistently away that he had been getting.
So Smolinski aboard. Here's Vogt. Vogt has hit a fly ball to left field, and he has struck out. First pitch is a fastball outside. Yankees leading the Mariners 4-3 now in the 6th inning. Astros won earlier today in Pittsburgh 3-1. Two wild card teams, the Red Sox and the Orioles, both won. That means Boston picks up a half a game on the idle Blue Jays, so Toronto and Boston are now tied for first place. AL East is going to be fun. AL wild card is going to be fun.
Well, the fun part, if it does go down to the wire, the final game with all games starting at the same time.
Serious.
3 o'clock Eastern.
Fouls it. So Red Sox win, Orioles win, and that's how tight it is now. The Orioles just 2 back. And obviously, same division, they're going to play each other a lot in the month of September. National League, a little more cut and dry except for the West. So as always, month of September is fun. Baseball. It's more fun when your team's in it, obviously, but it is fun to scoreboard watch. Sure. And we do that and enjoy it. The second wild card team has added even more intrigue outside. But look at the wild card race, Ray, in the American League. Look at all the teams involved.
That's great.
And it doesn't even have the Royals and the Astros on there, Ray, and they're both coming into today. They're only 3.5 back, and all of a sudden everybody's scared of the Royals.
Yeah, that's right. How about that? Yeah, 8 in a row.
Runner goes on 2-2, line drive, caught, dropped by Kipnis, and he's going to hold on to it. He had it, and he dropped it.
Well, you have to wonder if he was thinking about Smolinski, because an easier play to get Smolinski, but he was on the move, so he got to second easily. The only play was for Stephen Vogt, and he was hustling down the line with a broken bat. But you're right, he had it. Maybe peeked up a little bit, started to throw, did not, probably should have. But Smolinski there, no chance to get him. And when he did pick it up, started to throw and decided against it. So no play at first. Now a runner in scoring position again.
So it goes as an error on Kipnis, and I think that's probably a good call.
Yeah.
Even though it was kind of a soft line drive, but he really had it. He was there. It just popped out. So he's trying to figure out how he didn't catch it.
He's got that small Little League top glove made by Rawlings, but it's an infielder's glove, and probably hit it right in the pocket, drop straight down.
So the A's with a chance to take the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Perez getting one off the mask from the big swing by Chris Davis. There's the hockey style mask. Alex Lavilla, something that he said, catcher for the White Sox on the disabled list, he said he's got that mask, but with the umpire's thickness of the padding, something I never heard of. So I think the umpires have a thicker padding on their mask.
High fastball hit into the upper deck. Don't see that very often here at the Coliseum. Upper deck pushed back quite a ways.
Yes, it is.
So 0-2. Davis has struck out twice, both times looking.
The rally cap's on early. It's not even the 9th inning trailing. Triggs would have a rally cap on. Get a run, he's the pitcher of record. No decision at this point.
That sharp curveball. So 1-2 the count. So his most difficult inning by far tonight.
Well, might have been a crossover. It was. Perez handled it nicely, blocking it very well with a pitch outside and low. And did he go back with another slider, take a chance of hanging it, or go with a fastball?
Got him swinging. So Davis strikes out for the 3rd time, and the A's had a good opportunity. They do not score. 0-0 after 6.
Triggs, his 4th major league start, and he was outstanding for 6 solid innings. He struck out 6. Look at the big slider to Napoli after the fastball to Kipnis. Good slider Perez. Another slider there down and in. Got a swing and a miss, so Nick went outside. So good job by Triggs. This is a big out. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Fly ball to right field, and a pump of the fist in the glove by Andrew Triggs. 6 solid innings once again in Texas. 5 2/3 tonight. 6. 3 hits tonight, 2 in Texas. A run there, none tonight. 6 strikeouts and the first walk in his 4 starts. So career high 89 pitches tonight for Andrew Triggs. And outstanding, big smile on his face, worthy. Coco still can't believe that he was called out on the challenge, the appeal. I think we all agree. Should have been called safe, and what a difference it could have made.
And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. So Liam Hendriks comes in 0-2 with a 4.13 ERA. And he takes over here in the 7th, facing Mike Napoli. Napoli, Ramirez, and Chisenhall for Hendriks. Couple of home runs for Napoli against Liam Hendriks. You could say Napoli, he could go down as maybe the best free agent signing of the offseason. And
that's right.
Part of that equation is the fact that it was just a 1-year, $7 million contract. that one's going to be a base hit left center field. Napoli is going to take the turn, and he'll hold there. Leadoff single.
Well, in Cleveland, look at that. Right center field, and it was gone. July 30th, and this year, of course, the 3-game weekend sweep by the Tribe over the Athletics. And a 2-strike base hit might be just as damaging. Have to hope it's not in this inning.
So here's Jose Ramirez. Ramirez has grounded out and hit a fly ball to left field. Little pop up headed for the bullpen mound. Tough crowd. Small crowd, but a tough crowd. Did he deserve it? Did he deserve to be booed, really? Yeah, he did deserve to be booed, actually. It's a simple play that has to be made.
Scotty threw him the ball, and fortunately, we had a shot at him giving it to a young fan.
Vogt grabs it, and that's out number 1.
Normally, you'd like to see a third baseman come charging in. Vogt talking to Ryan Healy maybe about that. It's your ball, take it, call me off. But maybe that's the rookie accepting the veteran leadership of Stephen Vogt, who said, I got it, and he's there, and he's fortunately able to make the play. But anytime a first or third baseman can charge in and take it, catchers are very happy to oblige. Let them have it.
First pitch to Chisenhall, and a good rip. Chisenhall singled in the 5th. 4 hits for the Indians. Both teams with 4 hits. Napoli a very short lead at first. Naquin, another left-handed hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Slapped foul.
95-mile-an-hour fastball. There's enough on the fastball. Chisenhall, Naquin, left-handed hitters, they'll take the shot to left field. And saw Kipnis do it last inning. The double down the line. Well, you make a mistake inside, you try to think about inside after pitches outside, and they react.
He's fighting them off. The Yankees have added a run. It's now 5-3 New York over Seattle. 6th inning. Chisenhall, quick left-handed stroke. Chisenhall, a former #1 draft pick of the Indians. That was back in 2008. Down the right field line, trouble, fair. Napoli digging for third. He will stop there, and it's a double. And the Indians have 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
And just talking about the pitch down and in, you make a mistake, and the fastballs away, kept fouling them off, through a breaking ball down and in. And watch Chisenhall just rake it. Breaking ball, and he went down to get it. Fortunately, it came up short of being a home run. Napoli knew it was going to be down in the corner, and he was running hard. But getting the ball back in was Eibner enough time that had to be stopped at third. That was Napoli. Napoli running and turning around and seeing that it was going to drop, and that's when he took off, but not blessed with a lot of speed. Maybe the catcher's legs from catching the pass, but second and third again, this time with one out. Now infield has to come in.
Naquin is the hitter.
Look out on the left side as he kind of drags the bat through the hitting zone, and that's why Pinder at short has to be on his toes.
5 for 12 in getting runners home from third with less than 2 outs. Good jam that time. Loop swing foul. Naquin a .240 hitter with runners in scoring position. Tonight he has singled. That was in the third, and he struck out in the fifth. So the game on the line here in the top of the seventh. Swing and a miss. Good fastball up around the letters.
And you go back up there, you get a strikeout. That is a very, very tough pitch, and you can see the.
He's late. Yeah,
late. Pulled the hands in and really kind of tied him up, even though it seemed to be down the middle, but letter high. You do it again, I'd have success and get a big up.
And he did. Fastball moving away. Naquin swings and misses. So why not stay with the good fastball? Both of those were by him.
Now the Chisenhall at bat might have been a reason to stay with the good fastball, because they're fouling them off, can't catch up, and especially that one running away from Naquin, and just reached, and because it was a fastball, a little bit extra on about mid-90s, just no chance for him to even make contact. That's a huge out. Infield can move back.
So with 2 outs, here's Abraham Almonte. Almonte goes after a first pitch that was a little up, fouls it back. Almonte has hit a couple balls to left field. Hendricks staying with the good fastball.
But if you think about the one slider he threw and then the 95 fastball, from a hitter standpoint, you're thinking fastball is his best pitch, just a location. We've seen a much different Liam Hendricks in the second half and maybe probably his last 3 months.
Strike 1 and 2 right on the inside corner.
And again, the pitcher was up, and ball coming back just enough. As Almonte asking Ryan Gorman, did it come back? And of course it did, said Mr. Gorman.
And he chased a high fastball. What a job by Liam Hendricks. Second and third, 1 out. He strikes out a pair, and the Indians do not score. 7th inning stretch coming up. in trouble and then got out of trouble. A couple of big strikeouts. So we are still in a 0-0 game, bottom of the 7th. Carrasco back to work. This will be pitch number 80 for the Indians right-hander. And it's lined to Lindor, out number 1.
Oh, how frustrating.
Lindor shaded up the middle.
Just think if the new rules implemented by someone who says they have limited shifts.
That's not going to happen.
And that ball is able to be hit up the middle for a base hit, and they say we wanted to play him there, and have been an out. No, yeah, I agree. That's one will not be changed, especially the way that part of the game has changed, the way the game is played, especially with the shifts and guys hitting the ball exactly where they're being played.
So first pitch to Healy, a strike. And Healy has 2 of the A's 4 hits. Ryan Dole starts to throw. Healy, a pair of base hits. And he tried to give the A's a 1-0 lead, and now it's 0-2. Healy was behind in the count 0-2 in the 2nd inning. He had a base hit up the middle. Right there, strike 3 called. Healy knew it. Strike at number 8.
Look at the same hanging slider, didn't get it. Now Liam Hendricks got in trouble, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, but back-to-back strikeouts. And talk about an elevated fastball and a good one. There's one to Naquin, and Almonte way up the ladder, and he went after it. No chance on that one. And Liam Hendricks, a pump of the fist. And it's hard to see his throwing. And well, you learn, you hang a slider, 2-strike slider, hit it for double, and say the heck with that. Let's go with a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball.
Eibner swings at a slider and misses it. Astros beat the Pirates 3-1 in Pittsburgh. Fister over Tyon. Doug Fister now 12-8. Much needed win for the Astros. They need a win streak. They're starting one. They've won 4 in a row. Down and away. Alex Bregman, the young third baseman who was brought up, struggled early, but now he's starting to hit. He hit his 4th home run. So when we see the Astros next week, we'll see Bregman for the first time, and we'll see Gurriel, the Cuban player, for the first time. So they'll have a little different look to them. Two and 2 the count. Looks like our old friend Rajay Davis getting loose. It's like watching those speed guys do the leg exercises and just dream what that would be like. To bend like that. Seriously.
I agree.
They do those stretching exercises and
you know, it
just doesn't look like it would help.
That's what's upsetting when those speed guys hit a triple and they don't even breathe hard.
Well, that's true. That's just making us feel even worse.
You run 270 feet, you stand on the bag and just stand there and go, sprint 270. See, there's a little math, right? 90, 90, 90. 3 times 90.
Oh, man.
I like to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It's trig and calculus and all the other things.
How tired we'd be if we did that.
Oh, definitely would not be standing there not breathing hard.
I'd need something sitting at the third base bag when I got there. Slowly hit. Lindor on the run. Dug out at first by Carlos Santana. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Carrasco, and we are moving to the 8th. 0-0 A's Indians.
Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota. Hurry in for Toyota's annual clearance event to get an incredible deal on the 2016 Toyota you want before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
New pitcher for the A's, it's Ryan Dull. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. So Dull comes in. He'll face Perez, and then the top of the order, Santana and Kipnis. Dull pitched yesterday, 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, no runs. Good fastball, 1-1 the count.
We know players are superstitious. Ryan Dull had the mustache, little goatee.
Yeah.
He said, clean shaven. He said, got to change it up. Yeah, gave up a run or something. You know, guys change things quickly. But he has had a fantastic season and trying, as we said in Chicago, trying to continue and finish out very strongly. And still throwing a good fastball. Slight cut on that one, but off the mask of Stephen Vogt. Makes him feel like he's at home with the ball off his body.
Just a bit outside. Good pitch.
Well, this did not have the tailing action coming back. Stayed firm, and as a result, Brian Gorman saw it on the outside part of the plate.
Good take there by Perez. Full count. Santana to follow, and then Kipnis. Good ball game. No score, top of the 8th inning. And Perez skies one to shallow left. It'll be Chris Davis who waits. Chris Davis makes the catch.
That swing by Perez is a young man who's hitting 100 starting the game. You got 3-2 saying they're not going to try to throw me anything but a fastball. And Chris Davis, you could hear him call it, and then it came straight up and close it quickly. Keep it in that long webbing. But Perez really loaded up early and hit the ball straight up. Had a pretty good fastball to hit. Carrasco, no run support. The A's hope that continues.
First pitch, inside corner strike to Santana, who's hit a fly ball to right, a ground out to second, and a walk. Takes that one. Red Sox beat the Rays 6-2 in St. Petersburg. Price over Snell. Red Sox playing good baseball. They won 9 out of 11. Deep to right, down the line, home run.
Wow.
Carlos Santana with a huge home run to give the Indians a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 8th.
Well, you only hoped that the ball would hook in front of the foul pole, but it went second deck. And number 27. So there's your leadoff hitter. The ball came too much to the middle of the plate towards the inside. Santana watching. He knew he had the distance, and Stephen Vogt pointing foul. But the first base umpire did not. Is the ball. Wow, that's crushed.
So number 27 for Santana.
See the location? It's supposed to be outside and missed by complete length or width of the plate.
Great look right here.
No, it did not hit second down. I thought it did, but it was crushed regardless. You know, Cap, I think too, as we saw the first strike that was called, Vogt had set up outside and he caught it inside. It was called a strike, but missed the location of the plate that much. But then, unfortunately, on the 1-1, Santana let it go.
And what you got to remember now with the Indians, they got the Cody Allen, Andrew Miller combination at the end of the game, and that's pretty darn good.
They did not have Miller when we were in Cleveland. They actually acquired him on the final day we were there. Smolinski has it, 2 outs.
Again, location, both on an outside, reaching back, did not touch the ball, instead touched the bat aggressively. Fan behind home plate, the Tribe fan knew it was gone and just hit so hard it could not hook.
So 2 away for Lindor. Carrasco has probably got some gas left in the tank.
Yeah.
He's not really thrown a huge amount of pitches.
Yeah, and you talk about the back end of the bullpen, while successful right now, Carrasco does not need help. And the only chance the A's had, Coco called out at third on the appeal.
Healy over, but he's going to run out of room. First row. So Hendricks won an inning, gave up a couple of hits, couple of big strikeouts. That's Andrew Miller. Big deal. Big trade. Indians will have him for 2 more years after this year. The Orioles beat the Nationals tonight 4-3 in Baltimore. That's sort of that regional rivalry, a bit like the A's and the Giants. Dylan Bundy been pitching well, the young right-hander for the Orioles.
Yeah, he's expected to be in the rotation for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of talk about him before this year, but coming into his own.
Mark Trumbo, Jonathan Scope homer. Trumbo has 38 homers. The Orioles, they will hit the long ball. Two pitch up the middle, and that's a base hit. So Lindor has a 2-out single. Seven hits now for the Tribe.
Past Rindell very quickly.
Now batting, number 26.
So here's Napoli.
Mike Napoli.
Alonso's asking Lindor, why are you playing there? It's right where my line drive. It's a base hit. Napoli's 1 for 3. The Orioles have now hit 194 home runs this year. Ray, they're on pace for 258. The major league record for home runs in a season, 264 by the 1997 Seattle Mariners. Remember that group?
Yeah.
So they are not far off the pace of the major league record for home runs in a season.
And as long as they play a lot of home games, they've
Well,
got a
yeah.
chance. Although the way Trumbo hits them, doesn't matter where he plays. Chris Davis, Adam Jones, Hardy. I mean, they're all very good hitters and not contained in any parks.
But you hit over 200 home runs in a season. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And they're on pace again for 258. Zaczynski getting ready. 2-1 now to Napoli. He's ready to go. So 3-1 now to Napoli, so he will let it rip here if anything's close.
Yeah, he probably will not get cheated on the 3-1. It's going to be a fastball away.
Good swing. Past Ramirez in the on-deck circle.
One of the trades the Angels made was Mike Napoli to the Toronto Blue Jays, then Toronto to Texas. So right back in the American League Western Division, and he was tandem with Jeff Mathis and Mike Napoli, the two catchers for the Angels. Napoli now here, of course, and the Marlins have the other guy, Jeff Mathis.
That's right. He was a Blue Jay for a very short time.
Yeah, like that. He didn't even make a trip into Canada. And of course, when you trade out of your division, you say, okay, but then the guy, team on the Eastern Division, trade you back in. And Napoli did great for Ron Washington's Texas Rangers, especially in postseason.
Swing and a miss. Napoli chased a high fastball, but the Indians get a big run on a home run by Carlos Santana, his 27th of the year. By your local Toyota dealers. 1-7-1. The Indians got the home run in the 8th inning. That's a big one. The A's are no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Carrasco's been very good. Triggs was very good at career high 6 innings tonight. But the only hit that matters, Carlos Santana, the home run. So Carrasco facing Muncy. Pitch number 91 is a strike. So Carrasco, shutdown inning, he's been pretty good, 76%. There's Miller starting to throw. Muncy is 0 for 2. Taps that one, third base, fair ball. Ramirez across the diamond, and a nice play by the third baseman, Jose Ramirez.
Well, the theory tonight about pitching and defense, the Cleveland Indians have shown it, especially this kind of a play. Good one by Ramirez as he circled around the ball and on the move made a strong throw to first. And 2 pitches, you get an out for pitchers pitching the 8th inning. And just 92 pitches for Carlos Carrasco.
Here's Pinder. Swing and a miss. Carrasco was on the disabled list earlier this year, but it was not arm problems. He strained his left hamstring. He was going over to cover first base in Detroit on April 24th. And he missed quite a bit of time. He missed 38 days. But he's back. And the arm is fine. That's the most important thing. He's showing it tonight.
It sure is.
He's retired 5 in a row, trying to finish strong. His season high in pitches is 117.
And that one a fastball right there, strike 3 call. 9 strikeouts for Carlos Carrasco.
Well, thinking about the slider, and guess what? Here comes the fastball, and right down the middle, bell tie. Chad Pittner will learn as his major league career progresses that you get 2 strikes, you don't look for a pitch, you look for the baseball, and especially a fastball.
4th straight game with at least 8 strikeouts. It's what he does. His last outing against the White Sox, he struck out 11. A little bit high, 2-0. Coco Crisp is flied to left, grounded out, and then he doubled. Controversial play in this game, and a big play in the game.
Well, let's see too if Coco gets a count in his favor, and he could turn on one like Santana did, and he's got the count, but Perez outside. No, see, there's your difference.
Hit well to center with plenty of room out there for Naquin, and that will do it. So 3 up, 3 down, 7 in a row retired by Carrasco. 9th inning coming up, 1-0 Indians.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So 1-0 Indians lead. It's the top of the 9th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. New pitcher for the A's is Ryan Madson. It's been a while for the big right-hander. He last pitched on Tuesday in Texas, so it's been 5 days. That one cued toward Healy, who waits, throws in time. Ramirez is 0 for 4. Well, the bullpen is empty right now, although now it looks like Miller again. So we'll see if Carrasco is going to go out there for the 9th. Miller's either coming in or he will be ready. Could be batter to batter.
Yeah, that could be. And you got Smolinski, Vogt, and Davis. And Terry Francona, of course, has Miller. Also has Allen, who was the closer before Miller was acquired. They're kind of both serving the role depending on the matchups.
So we'll see. Santana, or not Santana, Carrasco has a shutout this year.
30, Tyler Naquin.
So with 2 outs, here's Naquin. Naquin so far this evening has singled and he has struck out twice. Swing and a miss. So it was a Carlos Santana solo home run in the 8th inning. That's the only run in the game. Swing and a miss. Good changeup by Madsen. Not only a change of speed, but just kind of floats away from that left-handed hitter.
Triggs has learned a good changeup also, maybe from Madsen, because Ryan throws it as well as anybody. Changeup, fastball combination. Yeah, pretty good curveball also.
Well, yeah, he likes that changeup. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws it here.
That's right. Fastball away though. Stephen Vogt called it. Went with it.
Alonso has it. Hustles to the bag, and that will do it. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Smolinski, Vogt, Davis. Indians lead 1-0. So Carlos Carrasco is going to sit and watch the 9th inning. He was terrific for 8 innings. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. So here is Andrew Miller. One of the biggest trade acquisitions at the deadline, coming over from the New York Yankees. Big, tall left-hander.
About 2 pitches, fastball, slider. That's all you're going to see.
And his slider may be better than his fastball.
Exactly.
I mean, it is nasty.
Think of the great Sparky Lyle, who pitched many, many years for the New York Yankees as a closer, and he was a slider master. I mean, he threw a slider just like Miller, but not the fastball. He lived and died with his, but Miller could always throw it back foot. Right now, staying away from Smolinski.
So 0-2. And there it is. It is a wipeout slider, and there's just not a whole lot you can do with it.
Throw is hard, and you almost have to swing before it hits you in the back leg. And it's just a very, very difficult. If you don't get his fastball, you have to depend on hitting that pitch. It's hard to do.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so Danny Valencia is going to hit for Vogt.
Number 26, Danny Valencia.
And he is just so tough on left-handed hitters. So you can understand the move here by Bob Melvin. First pitch. Here's the fastball for a strike. Miller has one save with the Indians.
It's amazing, Cap. It's almost like he just slings the ball, but he's so accurate with his fastball and his location with it.
Yeah, he really has good control.
Yep. Just slide it. And it's amazing that a pitcher with 2 pitches can have the success that he has, just because really you're thinking fastball, and here comes this pitch and it's out of the strike zone, but you're swinging over it thinking it's going to be a fastball.
Got a fastball at 96 miles an hour. Valencia had a good swing at it.
Well, you just hope to guess correctly and he makes a mistake, but pretty good velocity with the fastball, and all he could do is foul it back.
Strike 3 called. Slider on the outside corner. These have now struck out 11 times tonight.
Well, they wanted it down and in, stayed away, but caught the plate, according to Brian Gorman, and that's how much the plate it gets, and it definitely had it all the way. Pretty good pickup by the Tribe.
Not bad.
I mean, really, Terry Francona said they got 2 closers, and Cody Allen and Miller.
There's the slider to Davis. He swings over top, and again, as we said earlier, Miller is signed through 2018. You're going to have him 2 more years.
You see that number 8 up there? Those are all strikes. He has not thrown a pitch out of the strike zone yet.
And that's a good pitch. 97 miles an hour, 0-2. If you play behind somebody like Miller, you almost just shake your head. You're glad you're not hitting against him. 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and away. Davis had a tough night. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
But we all know one swing of the bat could change everything. Just a mistake. Can it be made by Andrew Miller? It's going to be a slider down and in.
And inside. Boy, it breaks so late.
Yeah. I don't know what he was doing.
Rolled foul. It was another slider. Chris Davis with 32 home runs.
33 sounds great.
33 would be a good thing.
Turn the table on the Tribe. They've had the miraculous comebacks.
And there's the slider, and he went around. He falls down, but he indeed swung. And Andrew Miller strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th inning. Very impressive. And the Tribe pitching is what it's all about in Cleveland. They pick up their league-leading 9th shutout of the year and won a ball game. All comes down to a home run by Carlos Santana, and the Indians beat the Athletics 1-0. 10,114 saw it. It was played in 2 hours and 29 minutes. Again, the Indians won and the A's nothing. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Henry and Bitt starts right now.